This is the start of it. 5. Good boy. Good boy. 3. Harikari.
Whatever you're into, we got it. Up, up, up.
6. How much do you weigh?
375.
He's kipping. Oh yeah. What up, y'all? We're here at Game Day Barbell. I'm gonna do some stuff with the guys from B Team Jiu-Jitsu. Nicky Rodriguez, Ethan Krellenstein, both professional jiu-jitsu players here in Austin. And what I'm gonna teach them is like the basics of strength and conditioning, but with a little bit more specificity towards the sport of jiu-jitsu. For those of you that don't know, I have a Patreon with a lot of programming, and the current program that I'm releasing week by week has a lot of these movements. It's actually like a general strength and conditioning program, and you can implement it alongside of your weightlifting, alongside of your powerlifting, whatever you need it for, or you can just do it straight up. Go to my Patreon, patreon.com/Zach Tellender, and you can get all those programs for $5 a month. It's a sick deal. We'll grab onto like an upright, and we're gonna try and just get really down low into it. And look, I have a really rounded back. That's totally fine. What I do is slowly ease my way in, squeeze in here, and I can kind of let go. Oh shit, I'm falling. Just keep holding on. After a while, wiggle around a little bit, get my feet solid. I can let go. See this? Are we letting go yet? Come on down.
Am I too low?
No, you're great. That's great. If you guys cannot do that, basically I just gave you a progression to building to that. Grab onto an upright, wiggle around, find that bottom position. Work up to like 30 seconds at first. If you can do 30 seconds freestanding, that's great. If you get 30 seconds, try a minute, 2 minutes, so on and so forth. Once you get used to hitting that position, squatting is going to be much, much better. Come on down.
Am I too low?
No, you're great. That's great. Honest to God, I like more range of motion. Like I like deep ranges of motion because in jiu-jitsu, that's what we use. It's like massive ranges of motion. So the first movement we're gonna do is just a goblet squat. You can do it with either a dumbbell, you'll take this, or a kettlebell. And the way I want you to hold the kettlebell is actually upside down on both sides like that, and you can put it flush against your chest. The reason why this is my favorite squat variation to teach is because it gives you the counterbalance. It allows you to kind of just sit and it feels really fucking natural to squat. If I threw a barbell on both of your backs right now with 45s on each side, you get this weird thing because your balance is off. It's kind of pulling you forward. Here we can kind of just sit straight up and down, boom, go all day like that. Okay? So what I want you guys to do, both of you, it's gonna be a difficult set. I want you to do a set of 20. Okay? The Nicky Rod special. Guy loves his sets of 20s, all right? Make sure before you go down, you take a breath in, breathe out on the way up. A little bit lower and stand up all the way at the top. So, there's our first 2 steps of the progression. You guys got it? So step 1, learn how to sit down in that low position. That's gonna transfer over to jiu-jitsu. 100% is gonna transfer over. Number 2, now we start actually training the squat. Number 3, the front squat. This, in my opinion, is the best bang for your buck in the fucking gym. No questions asked. If you're a jiu-jitsu player and you can get better at front squatting, this is going to change your game tremendously. Something that I've noticed with jiu-jitsu guys is their shoulder mobility is trash, and it's because they're always like this. Wrestlers, grapplers, they're just always kind of like this in this position. It's part of the game. It's not actually like necessarily a bad thing. It's just an adaptation to the game. So it's going to be very difficult for them to start and get this in what we call the front rack. Okay? If you can do it, great. I'm going to show you the end result, but if you can't do it, I'll show you kind of how to get there. He's already kind of working on it right there. Basically, you'll do stuff like that, yeah, with the bar in your hand. Okay? What we want to think of, see the little clavicle right here, the collarbone? We're actually going to put the bar above that. You guys see that with nothing on? That's where we're aiming when we unrack this thing. A lot of times people will come here and they'll just kind of pick it up like that, right? And now we're fucked. This is going to be really weird. Okay? Get the bar above the clavicle, unrack, elbows forward. Now we are doing what we just did. But what we don't want to do is drop the elbows as we descend. So you're going to reach up as you breathe in. Okay.
That was beautiful form.
Thank you. Oh yeah, he's got to get the links off, bro.
Whoa, sick.
Oh, that's pretty good. Big breath. Good. Breathe out on the way up. Just 2 reps. Watch out for the J hooks there. Good. How's that? Not bad?
Stronger. I feel stronger.
Yeah. Does it feel good though?
Yeah, it does feel good.
Good. Yeah, you guys are great. We're good.
How we doing?
Okay. Now, a couple things. What can start happening is people think, oh, I'm in a good position because my elbows are up, but the bar is actually resting on their delts, right? It is going to feel like it's kind of choking you. If that's just not happening for you, quickly, you can just go like this, cross the arms here, just like that. If you have straps, you would wrap the straps around and you would hold the straps. Okay? We're gonna load this up. Let's do.
Are straps cheating?
Not for this, no. Because it's only allowing you to hold, like you'll hold the straps like this, right?
I typically butter my grip so I can build strength.
I thought you butter your body before you get on the mats.
I tell people that.
He just eats a lot of butter, so it seeps out of
Ah,
his skin.
okay, yeah. I know the lore. I'm
Yeah.
well aware of
He knows.
the B team greasing lore.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm crossing my hands.
No, you can do whatever you want for this, but we're gonna go up in weight. And what I want to do is put these 25s on. We'll do just like a few reps, and then both of you guys are gonna do 135 for 20. Good, up fast. Breathe in. Good. Good. One more. Good. Perfect. It's kind of natural to go down, you know, like you can kind of get the rhythm of the breathing.
Okay.
Good.
How's that looking, coach?
Looks great.
Yeah.
The reason why I like also getting really low, it's like, you know, you're not going to wrestle up from a very easy position. You're not going to wrestle up from this position. You're going to be in really shitty, you're going to be in a compact position. You have to be able to apply force in really weird spots.
Yeah.
So it's good to be able to compress yourself and be able to push through that. Good. 1. Rebreathe every time. 5, 6, 7. Last one. Good boy.
Oh, baby.
So a lot of you are probably wondering, like, why the fuck would we do 20 reps? It's basically the baseline. This is it. What you could do is, you know, you could do 3 sets of 10, you could do 5 sets of 5, whatever you want as your baseline. What I'm choosing to do here is actually something similar to what I did with the Tackets and Cody Steele. Is like, we get this big set of 20 and then we move on to the next. The following weeks, we might do 2 sets of 14. The following weeks after that, we do 3 sets of 12, then 3 sets of 10, 4 sets of 8, so on and so forth. That's called progressive overload. So I'm sure there's a lot of people out there being like, oh, they're doing sets of 20 and shit like that. Whatever.
You got it.
3, 4.
12, come on, you got this shit. 13,
Come on, elbows up.
Done. 14.
14, come on now, you got this shit. 15, move.
Final 5. Last 2.
Last one. Boy. Just behind the front squat is the deadlift. But a lot of people look at the deadlift and they're like, I don't want to hurt my back.
I actually said that before.
Yeah.
I looked at a deadlift and I'm like,
especially in martial arts. People are like, don't, it's bad for your back, whatever. What I want to think about is like, if you're picking someone up, right? Let's say they're here, like you have to deadlift to some extent. You have to use those, hip extensors, important muscles to do that. So what we're gonna do here is try to overload that with the deadlift. But what I found out is that people are better from a standing posture than they are from a compensated one. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna start with the barbell high. We're gonna take a breath in, just like we would in a squat. In a squat, you start here, you don't start here. It would be a little bit more difficult. We're gonna start here, you're gonna take a breath in, reach, tap the floor, and come up. These are typically called tap and go or touch and go deadlifts. And what this does, like I said, is allows you to get into a good posture first and maintain that posture on the way down, okay? So I'm just gonna shoot my hips back a little bit, and then I'm just gonna drop, touch, and come up. Now there's a different variation of this, which is like the RDL, or the stiff-legged deadlift, where we would just kind of be more in this position, and we wouldn't actually go to the ground. That is also an incredibly beneficial movement, but we're gonna do the deadlift variation this time, okay? Step up to it, Nikki. Yep, that's what we're doing. Fucking meathead.
What's the reps we're doing?
Just a few reps, just practicing. So you'll stand up with the bar in your hands. Go ahead, grab it.
Dude, you were built to deadlift.
Stand up, take a step back. Now you're gonna keep your eyes like kind of forward. Yep. Open your chest, big breath, hold your air. Good, bend your knees and go. Good. Now as you came up, you kind of went like this. Just kind of repeat the way that you went. So you're here. Good. Yeah, that's actually better. I think if your eyes are gazed more here, it looks better. That looks great. Rebreathe at the top. Good. Stand up, rebreathe at the top. Good. Hold and breathe out. Good, that's good. If you wanted to push this and get further into it, like you'll feel how it works. You kind of hear up. Kind of something like that, right? Just so you visualize what it looks like. All right, we'll go with, again, like 3 reps here. Thumbs around. Good. Big breath. No, 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 no. You breathe. You hear him breathe out as he went down. Big breath in. Hold. Breathe out. There we go. Breath in.
Is there an arch here? Or
That's good. That's all right. Yeah. Control a little bit more on the way down. We don't want to slam the weights down. But you guys understand how, like, that's how we can protect our back?
am I going slow?
By starting from the top down.
Because you start with good
Because you start with good posture, and you just your goal in your mind is just fucking maintain it.
Yeah.
And the more you can do that, and you just do that, next thing you know, you're doing 300 pounds, 400 pounds like nothing, because I can just lock my posture in and move through it. Another thing too, just like look at how long his arms are. Like this. Put your arms out to the side.
Oh my God.
Right? Like I think I'm maybe a little bit taller than you, but we have the same wingspan. I'm considered like to have a really long wingspan as well. So like for deadlifting, motherfucker's built for it. Okay.
a lot of dead curls in my.
I would love to see what your deadlift would be at in 12 weeks from this position. I think it would be fucking crazy. Close to 500. Big breath. Touch. Good. 1, 2. Reset every time. 4, 16. 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and walk it in. And 20, there it is.
This form is good for you though, yeah?
Yeah, and I think you got pretty long arms too. Like, I think there's also, there's got to be a distinct advantage in jiu-jitsu from having long limbs, right?
For sure, yeah.
Right? It's just better for so many different things.
Yeah, I think like our frames are pretty ideal.
Yeah.
Somebody's across the mat, I just send them an arm, and I'll reel it back
Yeah.
whenever I want.
It's also like good for distance, right? And when you're grappling, like you can keep them away from you with long. Those are kind of like the staples as far as full body goes. This one's kind of considered full body. You had mentioned it earlier, barbell rows. Now there's a couple variations, but this is the one that I really like, is kind of starting again with the barbell up here, because we can create this posture right here. Now we can go down. Okay. Pretty self-explanatory, but the idea is that we want to stay in this position as much as possible. What I see a lot of are people starting to go like this as they...
Why is this back?
The row here?
Yeah.
We want to be able to stabilize ourselves with our hamstrings and our ass. Okay? I think there's so many times in jiu-jitsu where you're in this position, whether you're on top or grappling, whatever. So it's really important that we know how to stay postured up when we're bent over, instead of kind of like being like this.
No round backs.
Exactly. All right, no cat backs. Just stretch the hamstrings and come up. Stretch and up. Then you can stretch, row, and up. Good, that's 1. 4 more. Good. Down, row, and stand. 2. 3. 4. Last one. Boom. Big pull. Good.
Ashimugatu.
Ashimugatu, inside Rashi Pashi. Just grab the leg and break it.
Not
right?
many Americans speak Japanese like us. Ashigarami, Yoko Shikaku, all that shit, bro.
What else we got? Bukaki, Harikari.
Whatever you're into, we got it.
Yeah, so today we're going to be going over inside Bukaki.
Use your legs for that one. Wrap them up.
Is that it? Am I good?
Yeah, in general. If you can't do a pull-up, there's a couple progressions you can do to work on them. Probably my favorite one, just starting off, is like getting used to hanging on a bar. Like, I know that sounds pretty stupid, but like being able to just hang, we'd call this position, you probably can't hear me, I'll face this way. We call this position like a dead hang. See how my shoulders are up here? And all we gotta do is learn how to separate them. Right, so we're here, elbows locked, and we're just coming up like this, okay? That's gonna be the start to learning how to pull up. You guys are gonna have a pull up right away. The next one would be having some sort of like chair or something that could get you to the top. I'll just do it. You get to the top, hold, slowly let yourself down. That's called a negative. And then you could add a band. You could also do lat pull downs, so on and so forth. The goal is to try and build to like a big set of 5 weighted pull-ups where you lock your fucking elbows out. Okay, it's important that we lock our elbows out. Rather than, like I've seen so many people do pull-ups kind of like this shit, right? Go all the way down, hang, start the pull from there, okay? We can also kind of mix around with grips. Right now we're just gonna do what's called pronated grip, or just overhand. And then the other grip, which is also super beneficial to jiu-jitsu, you're doing a lot of pulling like this, is the supinated grip, or a chin-up, okay? So we'll go here, and what I want you guys to focus on is kind of relaxing into that dead hang, then kind of like getting up here and going, okay? Really hanging, letting the elbows lock. One of my favorite schemes that I did with, rep schemes that I did with the jiu-jitsu guys when I was working with them was pyramid schemes, pyramid loading schemes. So it's fucking hilarious.
I'll tell my friends about
yeah. So we were doing MLMs, you know, right? That's what it's called, MLM, like a multi-level marketing, like pyramid, right? Yes. Okay, but there's a rep loading scheme, which is a pyramid scheme. And you basically, you increase volume as you increase weight or intensity as you decrease volume. So one of my favorites is 10 body weight pull-ups, then 8 with like 10 pounds, then 6 with 20 pounds, 4 with 30 pounds, and then 2 with 40 pounds. And then you can start doing singles and just trying to max out. That way you can get all your warm-ups in, and you also get enough volume for hypertrophy.
Then you go back down?
You can absolutely go back down as well. We did this with every exercise, and it worked wonders. Sure. That's so easy. Like, you can program that right now yourself. Every movement you do, 10 reps, full range of motion, add weight, do 8 reps. Add weight, do 6, add weight, do 4, add weight, do 2, then do 1, and then if that was easy, add weight.
Yeah. I love hypertrophy.
Yeah. You can get hypertrophy as well as training strength at the high end.
Yep.
Instead of what you usually do, which is just 4 sets of 20.
Well, I start the 20 off for every heavy, and then I typically do a drop set. You experienced that with our bicep workout,
sure.
Right? You look
I was sore for pretty much the whole week after that. Okay, so what we're gonna do is 10 pounds. So there was this thing that I was kind of like trying to figure out, but I never actually did, was like all of these exercises, I was thinking of like where would an intermediate jiu-jitsu player, advanced, and like elite fall in line. And like, if you're not at these numbers, like that would be a great goal to have. So it would be like a single set of pull-ups with a certain body weight or a certain weight on the bar. And I would change it for weight per weight class. So like I think as a super heavyweight, like if you can do anything over like 12 reps, I think you're golden, which I know you could probably do, right?
You so like 20? 20?
Yeah. And if you can't do that, that would be something that you would work towards. Somebody at your weight would be like, okay, now we're looking at like 15 to 17. Okay, and if you can't do that, you work towards it. Same thing on bench press. Put your fucking weight class on the bar and try to get it a certain amount of times. Now for a super heavyweight, again, it could vary wildly.
400, 700.
Yeah. But I was trying to develop that, and I might come back to it, and basically it'd be like a grid, right? It'd be like every weight class, and then the exercise and the number of reps that you should shoot for at whatever level. I think it'd be really cool. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How much do you weigh?
Nice.
Huh?
How much do you weigh?
375, 400. No, I'm like 230.
Yeah, so it's like you're pulling 275 right now.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Now ditch the belt, and we'll do it underhand grip or supinated grip, chin-ups. Now just bang them out. All the way down. Come on. Stretch, stretch, stretch. There we go.
Nice. What's that? How many?
As many as he so desires.
Keep going.
Yep.
Go.
He's kipping. Oh yeah. He's kipping.
Couple kips in there.
Couple kips. Can't wait for the foreign police in the comments section.
Sorry. He gets so mad.
This guy calls himself a strength and conditioning coach? Does he fucking think he's gonna hurt himself from kipping on a few reps? He's fine. Let's go, 2 reps. Easy. Big pull, go. 1, big pull. 2. Drop it and go underhand.
8. 10. Wow. This guy's amazing.
Just one thing I would have you guys focus on is just like, again, for like mobility's sake, something that you might want to work on, just hanging, and then starting your rep every single time. So you do a rep and just hang and relax. Do a rep, hang and relax. Not as much for volume, but again, this will help with mobility. All right, we're gonna move on to final movement. And for this, you guys are just gonna bang out reps, okay? My man loves banging. You're just gonna bang out reps, but again, you could do the exact same rep scheme with a weight belt as well. It's gonna be the dip. Staples for upper body, in my opinion, for jiu-jitsu, okay? The bent over row, the weighted pull-up, and the weighted dip. This is like as basic as it gets, and yet I still can't really find something more effective. There are plenty of effective things, but if you guys become beasts in these 3 movements and then the front squat and the deadlift, like, it's gonna improve your game. It's that simple, okay? If you start to, like, you'll be up here, kind of get to right here and up, okay? After a while, you can kind of like push yourself, see how low you can get, and press. It feels kind of good to just stretch it out, you know? It's the same thing if you want to do push-ups or dumbbell bench press, you can kind of get really big stretch in the pecs. But at first, just start kind of go 90 degrees and really try to forcibly lock your elbows out at the top. Okay, let's go.
90 degrees, forcibly lock my elbows
Yep.
on the top.
Keep your chest up, that's it. Eyes up, eyes up. There we go. It's crazy, like all these movements that you guys are doing right now, like this is the start of it, you know? And then you just build, so kind of like what I outlined for you guys is like, what, 5 movements, I think? Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 movements that like, you know that you're gonna do, or some form of it you're gonna do pretty much every time you get in the gym. And that could be 3 times a week, the frequency could change, but like, it's not rocket science, it's really not. And for those of you out there who want this shit written down, I have it written down, I have programs for it, so check out that if you want. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
This stuff is all super applicable to like our scrambles and how many times do we get into a position where we're like trying to use strength in these positions. So it's like, first of all, it's safe. You can do this. You can redline, go hard as fuck, but it's not, you're not going to injure yourself.
Yeah.
What Zach is showing is very applicable towards grappling.
Yeah.
If you guys want to get better at strength in jiu-jitsu, check them out.
Yeah, yes. I've go to patreon.com/Telander and my programs are up there. We've got 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week programming. And like, you know, the number one thing that every martial artist like, or that I've heard from a lot of martial artists is like, the strength is not as important as technique. And that's 100% true. But for those people who are technically sound, strength is gonna be fucking amazing for you.
If 2 guys are technically equal, the stronger guy is going to win.
Yes.
For sure.
And so for me, the quickest way to get stronger is through these super basic movements. And again, people are gonna hear the word deadlift, they're gonna hear the word squat, and they're gonna be like, it's not specific to jiu-jitsu. Fucking, of course it is.
Yeah.
Okay? You come to the weight room not to go on the mats once again. I'm not gonna have you guys do like fucking banded like X-guard shit, you know? I'm gonna have you guys get stronger so you can apply more force into your opponent more efficiently. It's as simple as that.
Break some bones.
Thank you for working us out. I appreciate it.
Thanks for
I
having
feel
me.
like I learned a ton today, and I will continue to use these techniques in my further endeavors.
Yes, sir.